Hello and welcome everyone. Ragnarok Total War here with a brand new Warhammer 3 campaign as the Chaos Dwarfs. We're going to be playing as Drazhoath the Ashen and the Legion of Azgorh. Right, so this is the long-awaited, or one of the long-awaited DLCs for Warhammer 3. Big thanks to Joshua and the folks at Creative Assembly for granting me early access to the game. I've had access for a few days now. However, I've only just sort of taken a quick glance at some of the mechanics for the Chaos Dwarfs, so I have a little bit of an inkling of how they work, but for the most part this is going to be a learning campaign for myself, so sit back and relax. We're going to be probably going through the mechanics relatively slowly and just seeing what we can do, just testing some different things out and whatnot, and just have a nice fun campaign. Alright, settings wise, I mean, this stuff is not necessarily all that important. It's unlikely that we'll get too far into the campaign. Probably we'll play for short campaign victory or something along those lines. But yeah, let's take a look at the lore first. Alright, so Drazhoath the Ashen. For more than 1,000 years, the dark, burning spire of the Black Fortress has stood sentinel over the crossing place of the River Rune in the southern edge of the mountains of Morn. It is a nightmarish place of soot, blackened iron, and jagged rock, and burning magma runs through it like lifeblood. For centuries, the master of this dark demesne and the warriors within it has been Drazhoath the Ashen, a twisted, power-hungry creature and potent sorcerer. Drazhoath was first sent to the Black Fortress in effective exile after losing favor in the brutal politics of Zharr-Naggrund as a minor hellsmith, but has since risen to become its lord through his innate cunning and bitter, ruthless ambition. Alright, the Chaos Dwarves. Malign, dark-souled, and merciless, Chaos Dwarves are known in legend as warrior race of demon-smiths, craftsmen, and brutal killers who have dominated the northern reaches of the Darklands for thousands of years. Long separated from their fading kin of the west, the Zharr have given themselves over to their dark master Hashut and allowed chaos to work its twisted terrors on their minds and souls, transforming them into a calculating, cruel reflection of what they once were. They are deeply learned in the sorcerous arts and obsessed with the control of hellish forces and fires of the deep earth, combining dark lore with artisanship and skill for metalwork and industry. Thus, the Chaos Dwarves have produced a bewildering variety of strange and infernal war engines, daemon-bound weapons, and deadly tools of war, and their great power grows still. Alright, we start over here. Should be an interesting start point. I mean, obviously, the mountainous regions should play to our strengths. But whether we go east or west will be a big question. Probably we'll head east, because if we head, sorry, probably we'll head west. If we head west, we've got sort of like a divider here between our main settlement. But probably we'll head into these regions. But we'll see how things go. See how far we get before before I get knocked out of the game. We're of course playing on legendary difficulty as usual. And let's see what happens here. It is for good reason that ships rarely stop along the southern coastlines that provide passage into the desolate dark lands. In the distance, past the roving bands of orcs, goblins, ogres, and worse, black smoke can be seen spewing into the filthy sky through one world, though one would be forgiven for thinking this is entirely volcanic in nature. The stench of tar pits and oil pools hangs heavily in the air, hinting at malevolence that threatens to rise. Thraldom or death are the likely destinies of those ill-prepared to travel northward. Love the artwork as usual. I mean, Creative Assembly's artistic team is really second to none. So just some beautiful, beautiful stuff that they put together for these games. Which, Yeah, so if we head further east, we've got to cross this river, so we'll be kind of separated from our main province. Not sure exactly what he said there, but it's interesting. All right, let's take a look at Drazhoath the Ashen. Let's see what we got here. All right, Tyrant of the Black Tower, campaign movement plus 10%, upkeep cost minus 25% for G'day units. Shoot, that's something I didn't go over, was the faction effects. If we take a look at this, we should Sentinel of Ashes. Armaments cost minus 10% for all unit capacity upgrades of Hellforge, and armaments output plus 10%. Alright. And this is interesting. Suitable climates is everywhere, so that's really interesting. That definitely will make for a little bit of an easier campaign for sure. Yeah, any faction that's got suitable climate everywhere is incredibly powerful. But anyway, let's take a look what we got here with Drazhoath the Ashen. Alright, so campaign movement range, upkeep for G'day units, reduction. Alright, some pretty standard stuff here. Unbridled Cruelty reduces our upkeep costs. Campaign movement range plus 5%, replenishment as well. Iron Rild plus 30% replenishment for the Lord. If that was for the army, it would be pretty awesome. Alright, so we've got, this is their special school of magic. I forget what it's called. Take a look at that in a minute, but these are the spells. I was looking at some of these and I don't know. We'll probably, I don't know if it's gonna be the most optimum school of magic to use for our other lords when we recruit them. But this, the hammer, the Hell Hammer, looks pretty good if we take a look at this. Looks like it does significant amount of damage, though it is fairly expensive. 16 winds of magic cost, so that's quite expensive. And then we've got the Flames of Azgorh, which looks quite devastating as well. Actually looks like it would do a lot of damage to blobbed up units. However, again, very expensive. Curse of Hashut. This is direct damage, strong versus single combatant, so probably it'd be useful against your enemy lords and whatnot. Some of this stuff, I mean, yeah, probably we won't be using that. Probably using mostly direct damage, and Ash Storm, kind of useful to slow enemies down ever so slightly. But I believe the other lores of magic that they have available are Lore of Fire, which we've got Flame Storm, which is only 13. So if you compare that to the lores that we were previous lore. Shoot, the hell is it called? Lore of Hashut. Yeah. So we've got 18 and 16 for our power spells. So Lore of Fire might be, this is available to us, might be the way of to go. Lore of Metal, not bad as well. Searing, mostly for Searing Doom, is fairly cheap. And yeah, I mean, it's not a super devastating spell, but because it's cheap, it makes it a little better to use. And then I believe we've got Lore of Death also. So you got Purple Sun as your main kind of damage dealer, just quite expensive. So was the Fate of Vajuna, Soul Light. But anyway, I think for the purposes of this campaign, we'll mostly be recruiting everyone with their specific lore, which I've forgotten how it's called already. Anyway, yeah. So That's what we've got for his special tree. And then we've got some unique stuff here that should be fairly useful. We also get some amount of Cinder Breath. Income from cities plus 10% faction wide. Raw materials plus 10% faction wide. Interesting stuff. Barrier hit points. I don't know what the barrier is. Alright. Alright, so our economy is made up of raw materials, labor. So we've got raw materials, armaments, and conclave influence. All of this stuff affects how things sort of play out. Yeah, we get all of these through various means, and then each settlement has a workload, and so the workload. So you have your labor and your workload, and so long as you have more labor than workload, you produce the full capacity. So if you've got 100 workload, you'll produce 100 raw materials per turn. However, if this drops below 100, say it goes down to 99, we'll only produce 99 raw materials. And then we've also got armaments output. Armament generated by assembly line buildings in factory settlements. Alright, and then we've also got the Hellforge. I don't like... I'm not crazy about this where there's a limit to how many dwarves we can hire. You know, I don't mind it for the other stuff, but I feel like the dwarves we should have more access to, but it is what it is. I guess I don't know. It could be lore friendly, more lore friendly. We do have access to goblins. It's actually quite an extensive army roster. I meant to go through that a little bit before we get started here, but anyway, yeah, the Forge essentially spend points here to increase your capacity for these units, and then at each level you gain abilities, special abilities for each of these as well. So these bull centaurs I think are going to be really useful in the campaign. Obviously the artillery, we want to get our hands on some of the artillery as well. But I'm not crazy about the artillery because the artillery units all are entities, only one entity, which is a big disadvantage. Obviously artillery, you know, the more entities, the more rounds you can fire and whatnot. Yeah. And then you have the manufacturing. Once we upgrade some of these guys, so we've got to spend armaments to do the upgrades for these, and then once we do an upgrade in the armory, it will unlock the manufactory, where we'll be able to do further upgrades for the troops, I believe. Buildings, we've got a couple special buildings here. Giant conveyor. Armor, okay, so that's where we're getting our 10 armaments per turn. And it increases, it increases the workload. Oh, that's interesting. Gotcha. And then we've got the Inferno Barracks. Our main recruitment. I think most likely we're going to be going with Hobgoblin Archers as our base unit. 131 upkeep cost. It should be fairly useful. We've also got... Yeah, so here's our Dwarves. And then Infernal Castilian. Lava Fields. I'm interested to see this hero in action. The Bull Center Turok. Just to see how useful those are. And then your artillery building. And our sorcerer building. Don't know... I do want to see these, the Kadai destroyers as well. Those should be fun. And we do get a reduction. Is it just his army, or is it Yeah, just his army. So yeah, probably his doom stack would be composed of the Kadai units. But depending on how powerful they are. So we've got ziggurat tenements, living quarters. Yeah, I'm not sure how useful this is gonna be. Probably won't be using that. We'll definitely get the donation barrel going. It's just straight income. And then we've also got patrol routes. Helps with the your control over the province. Also gives you a little bit of bonus campaign movement range for armies starting in the province, which is always nice. Raw materials. Conclave influence. Yeah, so these Temple of Hashuts are going to be really important. So once we get to level 5. Another thing to note is it doesn't appear that there's any growth for the Chaos Dwarfs. So basically your building is limited to your resources that you have. But a lot of these buildings require raw materials. So our main settlement requires raw materials, which will take a fair bit of time to build up. Defensive building, tower, ballistics. Not crazy about that. So I think we're going to demolish that right away, and we're going to build this right away as well. I want to get access to those hobgoblin archers. Start with that for the time being. Start at war with these folks. Strength rank, we're a little bit stronger than them, so that's likely their only army then. And they've just got the 2 settlements. And then just the rest of the political situation. We've got Chaos Dwarfs in the north here. Dwarfs down in the south.
The dragon shall wake.
Palador in the southwest there. They're going to be a pain in the ass. Probably want to get rid of them early. And then ogres to the east. Got any... Just check if there's any quick deals. So no one's interested in quick deals. It's the diplomatic situation. Alright. Research. So very extensive research tree divided into industry, sorcery, and military. I think we're gonna go with this to start off. Yeah, go with that right away because these are the primary units that we're gonna be using. Reducing that upkeep cost and the additional melee attack would be nice as well. Dwarfs, we're not going to worry about just yet. Probably we'll research this next. Tallest towers, +1 control will be useful. Labor quotas. Labor quotas actually probably be quite good. All right.
Dale, Castellan. Shutilag, better roots.
Alright, so the situation here. So we've got the 2 settlements separated. We want to consolidate this province as quickly as possible and then get our numbers up. One of the things I do want to do as well is I want to recruit another lord. I don't think we have any supply lines either. Which means we should probably, to be optimal, is have groups of 4 generals working together. Alright, yeah, so we're gonna go heavy with the lore of Hashut and just see what we can do with that. I'm just wondering if these overseers are any good either. What's the better unit to But I think we're gonna go with actually, you know what? Let's try. I want to take a look at what this guy offers. We can always replace him later. That chaos corruption will be useful. Yeah, characters +3 helps with the control. Our control is terrible right now. Labor population -5%. So we need to get our labor population up. Let's take a look at your skill tree. So Great Taurus and Lamusa. Yeah. I feel like the wizards are going to be better. The ones that have access to the winds of magic. I don't think there's really any advantage. Upkeep costs. That's not bad. Upkeep cost, Harsh Master, upkeep cost -15% for, okay. That could be really useful. Could be really useful. Alright, so, we want to take the Sentinels the first turn. So, I think to do that, we've got two options. The first option, obviously, take on this army and then follow up with an attack on the Sentinels, which, if we're to do that, we've got to really reduce our casualties in the first battle, because the Sentinels, I mean, it's a lot of trash, but it's still fairly high numbers. So the other option, so to avoid that, if we wanted, we could just bypass them, just walk around them and attack the Sentinels, and then deal with this army next turn. Is the option, but we're gonna be bold. We're gonna see if we can take them on, and just see if we can reduce the casualties here. Ooh, black orcs. That's not good. All right, the black orcs could be a problem. We do have these dwarf blunderbusses. These should be powerful, and we've got these Kadai Fireborn. And then we've got Drazhoath the Ashen and this bloke. So we've got some orc arrow boys to worry about. Well, let's see how it goes. Just try and keep the casualties to a minimal. Yeah, the garrison, we're gonna be outnumbered facing the garrison, but it's all junk units. So we should be able to handle it. Just the thing I'm worried about here is the black orcs, obviously, and these orc arrow boys could do a fair bit of damage too if we let them get in range. Where are the black orcs? All right. What's the speed on these guys? Speed 54. Alright, that's not terrible. They look like those freaking snakes that the Tombkins have. Alright, let's put you guys out front. Okay, these guys, okay. These guys have... Ooh, the Infernal Guard actually... Ooh, you know what? When we get access to these guys, we're probably going to recruit a lot of them. Alright, this guy's got decent range as well. Alright, well, let's see how she goes. Do we have any... We got Burning Wrath and Dark Subjugation. Let's head out that way. Are they, looked like they were moving forward, but I guess, yeah, I think they are. I don't know, I can't tell. Anyway, we can move up a little bit. I'm gonna target the arrow boys and try and get the you should be able to outrun everything they've got with the exception of obviously their cavalry. Try and get our guns to get rid of the man, you really don't seem very fast. Oh, and what do we got? Army ability, Dreadquake bombardment. Hold on to that. Oh my god. For 54 speed, you really don't seem like you've got it. Alright. Try and drop that on them. And guys get out to the flanks. That was not bad at all. Holy smokes. Alright, yeah, I wanted to avoid getting our infantry in. You guys get in behind there. Oh, you guys get around in behind. Alright, the arrow boys are gone. My goblin laborers are not looking so good. Damn it, I got these guys all caught up here. This guy's stuck in here. I would say this is going pretty bad so far. Guys charging there. Actually, charge over here. Let's move back. Slow down those black orcs. Are they... Oh, okay, no, that's a different unit. Are you jump in there as well? Let's turn around and shoot them. Actually, we're gonna drop this right here. You guys hold up. Let's bring you over here to deal with them. Oh my god. Need to get you out of there. Alright, definitely a little bit rougher than I would have liked. The black orcs in some crossfire and try and keep these guys out of the fighting. They've lost a fair bit of health. Actually, come around this way. We got some orc boys coming back. I think we've almost got them. Unfortunately, we've taken a lot more damage than I would have liked. Alright, there we go. Let's get some free shots in here. Alright, well, we got the win. But it was messy. Sloppy. And I left this guy in the fighting. I confused his health meter with the health meter of one of the other units. And, yeah, the results, not so great. But yeah, definitely interesting faction. We've got access to orcs, dwarves, centaurs, close victory. So that's same as what the auto resolve was predicting. So I guess it's not all bad. And I mean, most of the units that we lost are fodder units anyway. Just this guy, I would have liked him not to take so much damage. We'll have to be a little bit more careful with him in the next fight. But I think we should be all right. That army ability was wild. Quite a bit of damage there. Alright, we'll go replenishments, treasury, or labor. Interesting. Interesting. Oh man, decisions. Can I go replenish? The labor was the way to go. Was that army defeated? That's interesting. Alright, increased mobility. I don't think this increases the army's mobility, so if it does, it doesn't say it there, so I don't think we're going to use that. So, kick it off with survivalist for now. These guys, and again, the ammunition, it doesn't look like he increases the ammunition of the army. Extra powder. Does have this ability, restock, so that's somewhat useful. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It doesn't look like he increases the... So the following units will receive bonuses from this skill. Let's say what bonuses though? Psychology, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't look like he increases the range of, or the range or ammunition of units in the army, which is really disappointing. Anyway, I don't know if that's an oversight or if that's intended. I'll kick it off with Root Marcher. Alright, here we go. Wow, we don't even have to fight it. Oh, casualties medium, so I think we can probably do a decent job here. Enemy sallies out to fight on the field. try and... Though, I guess we push up here. And then we've got this sort of ridge protecting us, but... I think I'd rather push in this way, though. Attack them from the angle. Alright, I'm going to position you guys here. Guys on the flank there. Keep you in behind. And head out front this time.
Drazhoath the Ashen.
Alright.
Drazhoath the Ashen.
Get on the move. Dreadquake Battery. That is a nice army ability. And these guys, for speed 54, they seem pretty freaking slow. Gotta say. Alright, your job. Shut down the archers, or at least some of them.
Drazhoath the Ashen. Hashut.
We've got the air goblins. So we can catch them there. Almost in range. Don't really want to charge into those spears. Pull back out. Come on. Drop it, drop it. Damn it. It's too slow with it. I should have maybe stayed in combat there. Oh man. Well, I didn't completely miss. One of them got a decent hit there. Let's move up a little bit. Alright, you guys. Attack the flank from the Goblin Wolf Riders. Try and get through this with the least amount of casualties we can. Oh shit. Just back up.
Azgorh.
Come on, go, 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 go. Try and keep these guys out of combat. A little bit too dangerous to drop it Maybe drop it. I don't know if that's gonna be. Oh man, I'm liking the guns. Liking the guns a lot. Yeah, that totally whipped. It's definitely a nice ability. It's a little bit slow on the draw, but it is a nice ability for sure. Drazhoath seems pretty tough so far. Hasn't taken a whole lot of damage. Alright, easy game, easy life. Didn't take too much damage there. Weaker opponents. Yeah, so the Orc Laborers and the Goblin Laborers are tier 0 units. The Goblin Laborers have really, really low upkeep. So I'm thinking that in the main army we'll probably go with Hobgoblin archers, and then in our supporting armies I might even fill them up with these Hobgoblin laborers, just as we could just try it out and just use quantity over quality kind of thing. See if that gets us anywhere. Armor of Destiny, not bad. Not bad at all. When Chaos Dwarfs capture minor settlements, they gain the option to rebuild the settlement as one of 2 different settlement type outposts or factories. Oh. Primary purpose of an outpost is to generate raw materials from mines. Labor is required in a province in order to meet the workload required by them. Primary purpose of a factory is to generate armaments and treasury. You'll need to maintain enough raw material incomes to support these buildings. Oh, very interesting. If you change your mind about which settlement type you want later on, you can mouse over the primary building chain to convert it. Doing so will revert the settlement to tier 1 and destroy all secondary buildings. Very interesting. Well, the thing is, seeing as this is our main province, this is going to be our main province, I'm thinking probably occupy as factory. The only reason I'm kind of hesitant as to not do that is because initially we're going to need a lot of raw materials starting things off. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with a factory. See how that goes. Alright, so Armor of Destiny for Drazhoath. Alright, well, I think this is a good place to leave it for now, guys. We got a little bit of work done. Hopefully this was a nice preview for the campaign for you guys. Hope you guys learned a little bit. It's going to take me a little while to get the hang of playing as these guys, but so far so good. I feel like the faction has some pretty in-depth mechanics, so definitely a nice hybrid faction to mix things up a little bit. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to consider doing so. If you enjoyed the content, it would really help me a lot with the YouTube gods and whatnot. But aside from that, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you next time. Ragnarok signing out.